smell. Smells amazing, but please, not right by the door. Yes, we will be opening the doors very soon. You know these guys like to run a tight show. They're just making sure everything's in order. Yes, ma'am. You can say hi to the midgets on the way in. Absolutely. VIP to the left. Regular line to the right, please. Doors will be opening very soon. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the show. Yes, thank you for coming. Yes. Yes, this is the Raider Nation report. Yes, Commish is in the house tonight. Yes, line is to the right. Yes, ma'am. Looking amazing in that silver and black, I must say. Yes, VIP is to the left, sir. If you give me your name, I'll check, make sure you're on the list. Yes, you have to be on in advance. Weeks in advance, sir. Yes, line is to the right. Yes, Raider Nation report tonight. A lot to talk about. Yes, there is a full bar inside, sir. Guys, you can't smoke that right here by the door. Just step over there a little ways. I love the smell. Smells amazing, but please, not right by the door. Yes, we will be opening the doors very soon. You know these guys like to run a tight show. They're just making sure everything's in order. Yes, ma'am. You can say hi to the midgets on the way in. Absolutely. VIP to the left. Regular line to the right, please. Doors will be opening very soon. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the show.
Ever since a kid, it's been patching skulls. Black and white, you see it on my flags and poles. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, all you ever heard about my lips. I was twitching, I wasn't breaking when Brady was winning chips. Went to LA, then to Oakland, and now we up on the strip. Dancing with the nation every time we get to 6. 3rd and 13 used to run the ball. Now we got 100, so we changing the call. Tatted on my body, ain't no taking it off. When the Raiders on the TV, we ain't taking the call. When the Raiders on the TV, we ain't taking making a call. Unless they with the nation, ain't no faking involved. All that internal hating, we be shaking it off. Cause we know they just came around Jacobs and Carl. Who you thought I've been rocking for? Ever since a kid, it's been patching skulls. Black and white, you see it on my flags and poles. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know. I'm a Raider, baby, you ain't gotta ask to know.
Look, I'm 34 like Bo Jackson. I'm a Raider, long live John Madden. We left Oakland, now we with the Sinners. For Al Davis, we got unfinished business. Look, just win, baby. Defense ain't giving up an inch lately. The offense in clutch, we about to up the scope. And D-Car ain't stopping till we reach the boat.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And there's only 2 times seasons this type of NFL season, this time in the year. There's the postseason and there's the motherfucking those waiting on the couch waiting for the offseason. Unfortunately, that's where we're at, Raider Nation. But still, we're at the same address. We're just down the street, past that house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner, ask our man Joe. He's a gentleman, he's a scholar. It's going to be a long motherfucking off season. Slipping what you should. He's going to point you in the right direction. He's going to tell you to take a left and then a right. And as you find yourself strolling down the street, minding your own goddamn business, you're going to pass this deep, dark alley to your immediate right. Now, as you pass this deep, dark alley, a very faint breeze is going to hit you. But it's cold. It might chill you to your core. Is it the autumn wind? It's still barely blowing. It's always blowing. Right now, it's just a soft breeze, unfortunately. But you venture down that deep, dark alley. Yes, of course you should. Because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call Deep Behind the Enemy Line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Tuesday, even when we're sitting on the fucking couch getting ready to watch 14 other franchises compete for the Vince Lombardi Trophy, still a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. We got to get into it. There's a lot to talk about. Not only was there the loss, there was the controversy this weekend of the Spectator being removed due to his signs that were getting flashed all over national TV. We deserve better. The Bench McDaniels one seemed to be the one that broke the back there and actually had him removed. Now, I've seen all kinds of different angles from that situation and what happened. You know, freedom of speech doesn't apply, for one. That's the one that I keep seeing thrown around the most. Oh, that's freedom of speech. No. You don't get freedom of speech at a private event inside of a private facility. Have you never heard the right to refuse service to anybody? They can toss your ass out if they want to at any given time. When you buy a ticket to any kind of event, it comes with a whole list of rules that you sign off on when you buy that son of a bitch. So it's just the tact of it, I guess. Just the optics of it. It's just a bad look when you're throwing one of your own out. Well, wasn't creating a disturbance. He wasn't disrupting anybody. He was just voicing his displeasure, which was the same of a lot of Raider Nation. I don't know. I'm a little indifferent on it. You had to know you're going to get a certain reaction from the facility and from the owner when it's a nationally televised game and you're right in the front row. So I kind of get it. But yeah, I agree with Michelle. It just seemed petty. It seemed petty. At that point in the season, you just got to roll with it, man. Your fans are going to be upset. There's going to be signs out there you're not happy with. At that point in the season, you just got to roll with it. You just got to roll with it, and I don't know.
I'm not as upset, I think, as some other people are about it. It just didn't, I don't know, it didn't set me off that bad. You had to know that was going to be the outcome if you were going to ride it out and not put the sign down. Because listen, I mean, the fact of the matter is they did come down and they did come down and they did say to the guy, you know, hey, put the fucking sign down. They weren't just going to, hey, get the fuck out of here. They were giving him the opportunity, put the fucking sign down. You know, you can stay. But he was not putting the fucking sign down. So, but I don't know. It's just the optics of it. When your team's getting fucking shellacked out on the field, your fan base is... Yes, I agree with you, Chad. I agree with you. To not expect any signs or any negative out there, I get it. It's just, man, they were giving that one a lot. They were giving that one a lot of coverage. And I don't know, man. The optics of it are just terrible. You're throwing one of your own out of the game. The team looks like shit. Your franchise is at a crossroads of dysfunction. I get all of that. He paid for his tickets. He should be able to say what he feels. You can do that to an extent. It's still their facility. It's not. I mean, that's just not the way it works. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. If you wanted to go to a road game and fucking hang signs like that out there, they'll let you do that all day long. But they're just not going to let you do that in their own house. It was a bad look, man. It's a very bad look for Mark Davis and the Raiders franchise. It's just a very bad look. This whole season's been a fucking bad look. The whole thing, the whole day was a bad look. And that was just like the cherry on top. That really was the cherry on top. And, man, I think that's enough foreplay, ain't it? Shit, we need to get right into this. Good Lord. We definitely got the oven warm today. Let's get right... We got a lot to touch on. I mean, hell, we got the whole damn off season. The ring around the rosy was pretty bad, Brian. The ring around the rosy was pretty bad. I gotta agree with you on that one. That wasn't a good look. If you're watching over on our YouTube channel, I'm firing up the YouTube chat down there. If you want to jump over on YouTube, get your comments up on the screen, you definitely can. Just the whole day was just the fucking cherry on top of a gigantic shitty season for the Las Vegas Raiders. A season that came in with some of the highest expectations of a season that I can honestly remember. And it just, what a shitty way to end. You got the Chiefs. You have a chance that you can get a little bit. You can get a little bit of, just a little silver lining on the way out, knowing you could fuck up their number one seed. You could maybe fuck up their playoff road a little bit. You can play spoiler a little bit on the way out with a team that you've had zero success with basically over the last decade. And you couldn't do that. The game went south so quickly. You weren't even competitive. You weren't even in it pretty much from the outset. They had Jared Stidham figured out quickly. There was no issues in that game. It was over, and it was over fast. Just it was an unfortunate end, and then you got fans being thrown out. The whole thing was just a horrible end. I mean, the only thing that you can take, one of the silver linings for me for the entire season, by far one of the silver linings for me for the entire season, is Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had an individual year that was almost unmatched as a Raider. Not since Marcus Allen had we seen a year like Josh Jacobs. 35 plus years since you'd seen a performance in the silver and black like what Josh Jacobs put down this season. He's an all-world running back. All-world. And that's the only thing that we can honestly take away from this season. To me, that's a huge positive going forward, is this guy. And so you've got to get in the office with this guy and start talking contract, getting him back in the silver and black. Now, I have heard small rumblings that is already starting to happen, that there have already been preliminary conversations had with Josh Jacobs about him coming back. And in my eyes, if you're Josh and you see that, okay, maybe everything didn't quite work out, obviously, this year that the way anybody expected to. But here's the things that Josh individually accomplished. Josh is the rushing king right now of the National Football League. He is the number one running back in the entire league. Is King Josh right now. That's him. The line that he is going to be coming back to led him to be the number one running back in the entire league. And that line as a whole is coming back. And you're going to improve that line and add to it and make it better. But as a running back that has to run behind that line, those guys are all coming back. You were already in a system and played through the system, a new system the whole year, which allowed you to become the number one running back in the entire National Football League. So the system you already fit in very well, and it complements your running style very well. They just need everything else to go along with Josh. You need the quarterback that just mixes in well, the quarterback that's going to mix in well with your receiving core and all of that. We're about to talk about all that, man. That's a deep conversation right there. But I think there's a lot of positives for Josh Jacobs to want to come back to the silver and black in 2023. I really do. I think you can make that sell. I think you can make that sell and get him back in. And not for I don't think you've got to insanely pay Josh. I just got a feeling that Josh is not going to be the highest paid guy in the league. He can do it all. Like Crush Chaos says down there, the guy can do it all, man. He is a force out of the backfield. His touches in a game are just they're pivotal for what the Raiders do in a game. And you got to bring him back. You got to bring him back. The guy's an unrestricted free agent. You didn't take the deal for his fifth year, and you're gambling. So Josh definitely put forth the season that put the Raiders in a tough position. Like, you can't let that guy go. How do you let that guy get out of house? I mean, he's the number one running back in the league. And he wasn't slowing up. He wasn't slowing up. I would love to see what Josh could do in playoff football. Hopefully next season we get to have that conversation. Hopefully next season. But we'll see. We'll see. It's the only really silver lining I can take out of this season. Mad Max Crosby was a nice story, but he didn't hit any sort of paramount levels like what Josh achieved this year. Josh achieved... I mean, he's the king. He's the running back king of the National Football League. It's King Josh. The dude's just got wiggle in the hole, man. He's just got such a wiggle in the hole. It's the small moves. He always is falling forward. He's always moving forward. He always wants back in the game. He just always wants to rock at the most important times of the game. It's just... And to people that say, oh, we just need to get another running back to complement him, he's not that type of guy. There are certain running backs that you just have to feed, and they've just got to be in the groove of the game, the whole damn game, and they've got to be helping maintain and control the rhythm of the game. That's a back that you don't mix in another back with a lot, because they're implementing their will. He's got to be out there all the time. I still think they need to address the depth chart around him a little bit. I don't know. I think Abdullah did all right this year. Brandon Bolden did all right in spots. And I am just not impressed with Zamir White at all. I've not been impressed with Zeus. He just runs forward and runs into people. I haven't been impressed with him. I still think Josh is this running game. Period. It all goes through Josh. And you just compliment around him. Agree. Devontae deserves some clout as well, surpassing Tim Brown, getting up there in the record book. He had a great season as well, coming over in his first season with the Silver and Black. I can't wait to see what that guy does as well. But trust me, Chad, we got a lot of offseason to talk about everybody that did well. He'll have his own segment next week. Trust me. We got a whole goddamn long time to fill in. Fuck. I can't believe it's over. I really can't. That we're already having to talk about the shit that we're having to talk about. The rah-rah shit. We're about to get into that right now, Brian. Let's talk about that right now. The quarterback conversation. Let's get into that, shall we? Let's talk quarterback conversation for your Las Vegas Raiders. We were hoping after the performance against the Niners that you were going to see Stidham time, and he was maybe a flash of something that could maybe work in the mix going down the road. And then you see him really crash down to earth last week against the Chiefs. So the jury's still out on Stidham. I think he's garnered enough that he's probably going to get another look. He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. Conversation starts with him. You got to look at first what you have in-house. And once you look at what you have in-house as far as quarterbacks, the cupboard's looking pretty fucking empty right now. As far as quarterbacks in the Las Vegas Raiders. Cupboards. It's looking a little fucking old Mother Hubbardish in there. You've got Jarrett Stidham, unrestricted free agent. He's done. At the end of the year, he can go do whatever he would like to do, but he has no ties to the Las Vegas Raiders. One good game, one bad game. Do you know anything about that guy? He's had 2 starts in the National Football League. Are you ready to hit your fucking franchise that's locked and loaded and ready to go and just needs a quarterback? To him? I don't think so. You may bring him in because he knows the system and he might be a solid backup quarterback. But are you ready to pay him starter money? Franchise quarterback money? Fuck no. You ain't ready to throw that at him. If you are, you're a fucking goddamn fool. Maybe he can go to the Texans. They like throwing money like that at Brock Osweiler and shit like that. But nah. No. Stidham's, he's not there yet. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. So you got him. You got Carr. But obviously you see the relationship is completely fractured with Derek Carr after the conversation that his brother had on NFL Network last week. You know that is completely fractured. So that deal, he's out. Carr's on the way out. So Carr ain't in your cupboard. No, he's not in there. So who you got? Chase Garbers? Chase Garbers, the rookie last year from Cal? No. So you're looking at draft. You're looking at veteran. You're looking at go of one of two ways. Possibly draft paired with veteran, where you bring the veteran in to start, draft a quarterback to somewhat study behind him for a year or two. When that guy's done, hopefully this is your guy that steps in. You may even go that route. But you got to look at what you got out there as far as free agent quarterbacks. I mean, right off the gate, Tom Brady's, the line has been drawn. Josh McDaniels is his lap boy. He'll crawl right in Tom Brady's lap like his fucking favorite cat if you let him. That line's already been drawn. They've won Super Bowls together. There's a great rapport. He knows the system. Yada, yada. He's not happy in fucking Tampa. Trust me, if the shit goes off the rails in the postseason, Tom's all but done there. But Jesus, the guy's like 45, 46 years old. How the fuck long's the guy going to play? You really want to hook your fucking career and future as a head coach and your franchise to that guy? Aaron Rodgers looks to be out possibly in Green Bay. I guess you could probably spin that for Devontae to bring him into Las Vegas. Maybe. But you're only probably looking at a couple years out of him as well. And then you look on down the list. You're looking at Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Jimmy Garoppolo. I've heard a lot of talk about Jimmy Garoppolo too. Garoppolo? I mean, fuck, you might as well have kept Carr if you're talking about Garoppolo. I don't think Garoppolo's an upgrade to anybody. You want Danny Dimes, fucking Daniel Jones from the Giants? Teddy Bitchwater? Case Keenan? Mason Rudolph? The fucking helmet dent in his head? Maybe you could go get Geno Smith. Look what he's doing with the fucking bitch pigeons. Dalton? Joe Flacco? Lamar Jackson? That's probably the coup de grace of what is out there as far as youthful, veteran type quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson. I mean, unless you want to go on the Cooper Rush experimental train? You want to be the team that gives him a shot? So now, if you're not going down that road, you've got to start looking at draft. Do you go the kid from Alabama? Do you go Stetson from Georgia? Do you go the kid from Kentucky? Do you look at one of these guys? Do you go Stroud from Ohio State when everybody's scared to death of Ohio State quarterbacks? Do you go that route and you're going to draft and start a rookie? They're going somewhere. They obviously have a plan because they have completely fractured the relationship with Derek Carr and pushed him out the door. David Carr's conversation on NFL Network a week or so ago was basically word for word what Derek Carr would say if he could come forth and say what he wanted, and that's why his brother said it. Those guys are super close. They have an insane amount of conversations, and there's a reason why that was laid out there the way it was and was presented the way that it was by David Carr. So he's out. So when you're looking at the quarterback cupboard for your Las Vegas Raiders, with Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, your all-world running back. This incredible offense, locked and loaded, ready to go. Just need to add some more depth to that offensive line. And I'm telling you, this is an offense that can put some fucking points on the board if you can get it going. But man, who's it going to be? Because to me, you're looking at Brady, Rodgers, or Lamar Jackson. I guess maybe Garoppolo, if they think he's really can do something. But those are your only four. Those are your top four you're looking at free agent wise. I don't know. Are you really going to sell your soul to try to milk an MVP like Brady or Rodgers for 2 years? I don't know. Is Lamar that upset with the Ravens? I think it kind of depends how this postseason goes, too, with Lamar. Or is there just a rookie out there that they are just so in love with that they're just ready to hand him the reins? Because the fact of the matter is, if you're a head coach and you bring in and you have sold the owner on we are going with this young franchise quarterback, you get the growing pains, you get him learning to be an NFL quarterback, you get him learning a new system, you get all that, and you get a timeline with that you don't get with all other quarterbacks. You know, this is a new guy in the league, new system, first time as a pro. They get a learning curve. And when you attach that as a head coach, that gives you a little bit of a leash in the National Football League. And also, if it fails, you can blame it on the fucking new guy. Hell, it was the fucking quarterback. So it almost gives a new head coach a little leeway. Probably would buy him 2 seasons. It'd buy him this next season and probably the season after to see if he could put it together paired up with a new rookie quarterback. So I don't know, man. The Tom Brady shit turns my stomach. The thought of Tom Brady turns my stomach. If you're going to go that old MVP route, I would much rather it be Aaron Rodgers than Tom Brady. I'd be interested to see what Aaron could do in an environment like Allegiant Stadium, not playing outside in the fucking cold all the time at crucial times of the year in Green Bay. Would you put a guy like that in an environment like an Allegiant? I think he could be huge. I guess if I had to pick between the two of them, he'd be the lesser of the two evils for me. But I don't know, man. It's an interesting place right now that this team finds itself with the empty cupboards right now of quarterbacks in house with your Las Vegas Raiders. It's gonna be a fun offseason. That's for damn sure. It is going to be a fun offseason. I think the consensus there is if we had to pick between Brady and Rodgers, I think we'd all probably rather take Rodgers. I think Rodgers just has a little more juice left in him as well. I mean, the wheels are going to fall off for Brady at some point. I mean, he put the Bucks in the playoffs, but he put the Bucks in the postseason in the worst division in the league. They're all sub 500. They're going into as a sub 500 team winning the division. It's a terrible division. And he just benefited from that. And no. Brady. Number 12 in silver and black. The thought of that just turns my fucking stomach, man. Turns my stomach. All right. Well, it is the off season now, unfortunately. So we've got to start talking about our next. We just wrapped up our Raider Reaction Fantasy Football League. Autographed Josh Jacobs jersey, $400 going out to Lines. Raider Lines, who won the league. To be heading his way this week. Wrapped that up. Wrapped up our Hardcore Challenge Fantasy Football League. And as the season wraps up, right after the Super Bowl, we like to get into our next little project at Raider Reaction. And it takes about a month or so to try to build a nice group of Raider Nation who wants to compete and fill that void of lack of football competition through the offseason. And it's our 2003 edition of the Raider Reaction Offseason Madden Challenge. We will be playing it again on the PlayStation format. If you play on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, you will be eligible to get in the league. If you are a member of Raider Nation and you game on the PlayStation platforms 4 or 5, we got the league kicking off. It will start it will start sometime in February. I will finalize all of the info this week and have all of that out. I'm starting to put the ads out this week. This is like our little prelim kickoff. So if you are interested in getting in on our Madden Challenge, we've already got our chat up. I'd say we've got about 12 guys confirmed already. So we've got quite a field coming back. We do a full fantasy draft on a Sunday. We start on a Sunday morning early, and we draft a full team, so you get to draft your entire roster. You're assigned a shell of a team. I know it's obviously not going to be the Raiders. We can't play as 32 teams of the Raiders. Richard, our defending champ, has the Raiders. The defending champ from the year before gets the Raiders coming into the next Raider Reaction Offseason Madden Challenge. So if you are interested in getting in, we will be grand prize. It's only a $25 buy-in to play. We will be doing flash prizes throughout the season. We've got a couple sponsors that we're going to be announcing that are going to be on board with us as well to help us with prizes and whatnot for the league. And we're going to be giving away a big badass Raider box for our grand prize. That is going to be a box that we add to all season long. Every Monday will be Madden Monday shows. We'll add a new item in the box. And then at the end of the season, the grand prize winner gets the big badass box. And we are throwing some autographed Raider swag in there as well. So, and that will be determined by next week. By next week, I'll be able to advertise what the autographed Raider swag is, because that'll obviously help pull you in if you're on the fence. We're thinking about maybe going veteran this year. We've went autographed Darren Waller swag before, autographed Josh Jacobs. We did a cleat before. It's going to be something nice. It's going to be some autographed swag. We've been having some discussions in the group with the owners that are already in there. Should we go veteran this year? Maybe like a Cliff Branch for Hall of Fame, or should we do something along those lines? But we are going to have some nice autographed swag. So if you are a Madden gamer and you're on the PlayStation format, hit me up at the Facebook page. Send us a message. We'd like to get you in right away. We're going to be putting owners in over the next month, and then get things kicked off shortly right after the Super Bowl once February hits and there's no football. And then, it's a very casual league. We advance it as quickly as we can. We've all got lives and families, and we mesh this league in with the rest of it. So it's a competitive league. It's a fun league. It's all members of Raider Nation, and that's all we really want in there. So if you're a Raider fan or a Raider fan who plays Madden on the PlayStation format, $25 buy-in, flash prizes, chance to win autographed Raider swag, and a whole bunch of other Raider prizes, and game and play. And we're going to be televising the games. We're going to be doing live game calls on Madden Monday, and all kinds of shit, and having a good time with it. So if you're interested, it's that time of the year, man. We got to have make-believe fucking football to fill the fucking void now. It's that time of the year. And while you're checking all that shit out, go to RaiderReaction.com, check out our website, and become an official supporter, sponsor, whatever. What the fuck is it called? Subscriber. There we go. That S word. Become a subscriber of Raider Reaction. Hit that little blue button that's at the top of our Facebook page, and you can go to RaiderReaction.com, click on the tab, and all the shit about being a subscriber, and you can be like one of the cool kids, have these cool badges next to your name, like Chad and Michelle and JoJo and all the other cool kids out there in the audience. Got it. And then you can get in on the raffle. Raffle prizes will be going out this week. All of you that won the raffle last week, because if you're a subscriber, you get to be in on the raffle the first Thursday of every month. We just had it last week. Those prizes are going out this week, along with our fantasy football prizes as well. So all goodies will be out. Hopper empty again. Beautiful thing. Keep it empty. I'm trying to keep it empty. It's one of my New Year's resolutions. That and feed the midgets more. And while you're there, put your email address in the bottom of any page on our website and hit that button, and you can get signed up for our newsletter. It comes out around the first of every month. And then check out our sponsors, BetAnySports.eu and Clear Live Streams. There's a button for both right there. BetAnySports.eu, hit that button. It'll take you right to our Raider Reaction landing page, and you can get the hookup. And Clear Live Streams, they can get you your streams of all your games and all that shit. Hit the button. Go get Bryant. He'll get you the hookup. So let's move on. It's enough. God damn, I feel like fucking Billy Mays. All right. It's Slices and Dices and Julien's. Moving on. Retaining free agents. This is a big key to the postseason, or to the off season here for the Las Vegas Raiders. Free agents. What are you going to do with some of these guys? You've got a lot of free agents that you've got to make decisions upon. And let's touch on some of the top ones, shall we, as we're working our way through here. Clelin Ferrell. Do we even need to have a lengthy discussion about Clelin Ferrell at this point? I think you saw a little more out of Clelin Ferrell this season. It was nice to see some splashes here and there. But I don't know, man. I just think it's time to just cut bait with Clelin, and good luck to you, and go see what he can do somewhere else. Good luck to Clelin. I just think you got to move on from him. I don't think you bring him back in. Anthony Averett, cornerback. Banged up. Not in there as much as I would hoped. When he was in there, he was not the impact you hoped he would be. I was not impressed with Averett as a corner. I know somebody's got to play corner for the Las Vegas Raiders, but I don't think that needs to be one of the guys. I don't think you bring him back, in my opinion. I think you let him go. Denzel Perryman, linebacker. I think it's all about health to me for Denzel. The year before last, he was leading the league in tackles all the way up until the last three weeks of the season or so, and then he got really banged up, and he wasn't really there for you when you needed him down the stretch. And this year was the same. When it got late in the season, he seemed like he just didn't have the ability to sustain and be out there on the field. The wear and tear of the season started to get to him. He's not a young man. So I think you got to take a hard look at Denzel Perryman. Because a healthy, performing Denzel Perryman, I want out on the field 100%. But at the position that he plays, and the type of abuse it puts on your body, is he able to sustain and stay on the field for an entire season anymore? That's a big question mark. You got to take a hard look at Denzel Perryman. Josh Jacobs, we talked earlier. You got to bring Josh back. He's got to be the top list of your free agents you're bringing back. Jerry Tillery, defensive tackle. Yeah, you could probably get him for a couple mil. 2.5 million. Is he worth bringing back? This is a position of depth. He was a bright spot. I think he showed where he could earn a spot on this roster. Mac Hollins. I could make an argument for Mac Hollins. Bringing back Mac Hollins. I think it's all about money with Mac. I think it's all about money with Mac, to me. Because I think Mac Hollins has done everything that you asked him to do coming in. He filled in when Hunter went down. When you had some injury issues, you needed him to be the solid number 2. He stepped up. He wasn't supposed to be that. He was supposed to more complement Devontae, Hunter, and Waller. But you've got to have somebody in that depth chart. You got to have somebody on that depth chart because you've also got Keelan Cole. Keelan Cole, who's also a restricted free agent. I don't think he's one that you do keep. I think maybe if you could get Mac to come back for the right price, I would entertain Mac a lot quicker than I would entertain Cole. Also corner, Rock Sin, free agent again. Rock was okay when he was out there healthy. He'd had some good games. He had some little hit or miss games. As I would say, he was probably your best performing corner over the course of the season. But do you bring him back? Richard's got a point. Mac was very good in special teams. On kick coverage, and he's an all-around player. And I think Mac puts forth the effort that you want. I think he may just be a nice team guy. Deron Harmon, safety. Deron, I could maybe see a discussion with. Unfortunately, Robertson is not a free agent. Unless they cut him, Chad, he may be back around. Jakob Johnson, fullback. He seems to be all right. I miss Alec Ingold. I think Jakob is a little bit of a downgrade from Ingold. I think we would have been better off to keep Ingold. But Johnson, I'm okay with him. I mean, he was leading the way. He was part of the barrage of... I don't think you change anything other than upgrade the line for the league's leading rushing game. I mean, he is part of the league's leading rushing game. Jakob Johnson was out there leading the way a lot of the times for Josh Jacobs. I mean, he's part of that story. So I don't think you change that dynamic. I think you keep the same guy in front of Josh. Jermaine Illuminor. I don't know, man. I think that's definitely an upgrade that you need to make on the offensive line right there, and that's one you got to let go. Jayon Brown, linebacker. He had some flashes here or there for me, but I don't know. Is that a guy that you give a shot to? If you need some depth, it's definitely a position to fucking need. Andrew Billings. That defensive line interior. He had a couple games where he'd made a bright spot, a little splash. Is he a guy you throw in with Tillery? Bring him back. See if you can get a little more out of him this season. Possibility. Amir Abdallah. I thought Amir Abdallah played well at points in the season. He was great out of the backfield in the passing game. Didn't do a lot carrying the ball in the backfield, but I'm telling you, you don't need a lot to complement Josh Jacobs in the running game. Josh Jacobs is the type of back that he's not a share the type load back. It's all Josh or it's somebody else. So Amir, I would entertain a conversation with bringing Amir back. Tashawn Bauer, defensive end. Bauer was he'd had some flashes. Renfro is not a free agent, Michelle, so he's not a concern this year. Matthias Farley, safety, he could go. Sidney Jones, corner, he can go. Roderick Teamer, safety, he can go. Horsted, tight end. I would take a look at Jesper Horsted one more time. Horsted looked good when Waller was out. Moreau got banged up. They had to go to Horsted. Horsted looked solid in preseason. Every time you shoved him out there last year, he just constantly performed. Every time he was thrust in there. So I would give Horsted a look. Especially if you're looking at maybe not keeping Waller around. And you go Moreau, and then Horsted would be a great backup. Curtis Bolton, linebacker, I don't know. Foster Moreau, tight end. It's all about price for me with Foster. Because you just paid Darren Waller a lot of money. So maybe you don't keep Foster around, and you keep a guy like Horsted around to back up Waller. There's a lot of decisions to be made right there. As you see, that's the majority of the free agents. There's a couple that I didn't touch on, but only like a handful, maybe like 5 or 6. But I mean, that's the majority of your free agents right there. That's a lot of fucking guys, man, that you've got to make decisions upon. A lot of guys. And a lot of them defensively. A lot of them at linebacker and cornerback. At corner, I don't know if you bring any of these fucking guys back in. I don't. I think you need to try and go out and do something. You got to do something dynamic with this fucking defense, man. You just have to. Because this coaching staff, the biggest question mark to me, besides being knee-deep up to my ass in the McWeasel era, which we are firmly in, okay? Bench McDaniels signs and fire Josh and all that shit. Listen, I was with you guys. I was screaming at the beginning of the season. But I understand financially, and with the direction that this team's going, Josh McDaniels is not going anywhere for at least 2 more seasons. We're knee-deep in McWeasel era. So now I've got to look at, is Patrick Graham, is he the guy to be running the defense? Because the defense is an important thing to turn this team around. And is he the right guy? Because you've got some stars on this defensive side of the ball. Nate Hobbs, Mad Max Crosby. Those are a couple guys you can build around. Denzel Perryman. You've got some building blocks that you can build around. But I'm not either. Not sold. Not sold on Patrick Graham and whether. But really, all of these guys, this was a huge evaluation process for all of them. So you're going to get a lot of guys getting scratched off this team, a lot of rebooting on this team, a lot of moving of parts, a lot of additions are being added in the draft with the 11 draft picks that you have right now on the board, 3 of them within the first 70. You're going to add some talent to this team, and you can make a quick turnaround. There's some talent out there in the free agent pool. There's definitely some talent out there defensively. You've got Levante David. You got, hell, you bring back Ngakwe. Try to pair him back up with Mad Max. He had a lot better fucking season than Chandler Jones did. He's out there again. Levante David I think, is an interesting name in the possible interior of this defense that you should maybe take a look at. There's some guys out there on the defensive side of the ball in the free agent realm. So I think you're going to get another year out of Patrick Graham because he's going to get a chance to handpick and stock his toolbox along the lines that Josh McDaniels is going to do for the offense. And I think you're going to get a chance to, he's going to get a chance to handpick shit. Yeah, it's the infamous Billy James. Yes, there's some talent out there. There's definitely some talent out there. You've got Deion Jones, inside linebacker, Marcus Peters, Fletcher Cox, Robert Quinn, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave. There's some definite talent out there. Jadeveon Clowney's pissed off with the Browns. I mean, you got a lot of options out there on the defensive side of the ball to make some improvements, and not all super expensive either. All not super expensive. So I think there's some things that you can do. And improve. I really do. Well, we're going to see, Wes. We're going to see. I think they're going to give him another year. I haven't heard any talks about Patrick Graham being anywhere near a hot seat. I've heard nothing to that effect. I don't think he's anywhere near that, and I think he's going to get the leash of a year. I think this whole staff is going to get the leash of a year. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting and fun off season. That's for damn sure. This whole season was an evaluation process, on the job training to see if you could make it. That's what this whole fucking season was. Fucking obscene, ridiculous. Fan of the week. We are bringing back Fan of the Week, January. But I'm emptying the hopper and starting back over. So if you want to be Fan of the Week, you got to send us a picture to RaiderReaction.com. Send it to Raider Reaction Sports on Facebook. Send it to our Instagram. Send it to our Twitter. Do a video on TikTok. Whatever you want to do. Send it over to Raider Reaction. Say, I'm Fan of the Week. Look at me rocking my silver and black. I look fucking awesome. I'm Fan of the Week. And we're going to say, yes, damn near you definitely are. And we're going to see some nice little goodies from Raider Reaction. And we're going to put you up on the show and all that good shit. And highlight you as the Raider Reaction Fan of the Week on our Raider Nation Report on Tuesday night. So if you want to be Fan of the Week, it's the easiest damn contest to win. All you got to do is send a picture of yourself rocking your silver and black in. And I got a very limited number of the 2022 season poker chips left. Those are what I'm going to be giving out first. And some other stuff as well, but those are going to go all this month. So if you want to get in, we will spring Fan of the Week back next week. So nominate yourself. You nominate yourself. It's the easiest contest there is out there. All you got to do is say, yep, I'm the Fan of the Week. And we're going to say, yep, you sure are. All right. We're knee deep in it. We're knee deep in the McWeasel era. He's not going anywhere. You can get over the fire McDaniels talk. You can get over the get rid of Josh, bench Josh, all of that shit. He's not going anywhere. Mark Davis is financially tied to him for at least a couple more years. That's your best case scenario. He's going to be here all of 2023 and 2024. I firmly believe, no matter how much of a fucking shit show he performs. Financially, they just can't afford to let him go as a franchise. You had to settle with Gruden, undisclosed amount of money. So you're basically paying Gruden to still coach the Raiders. I guarantee that. That's how much they probably had to pay that guy to go away. And you're not going to fire Josh and have to be paying another coach as well. They're just not going to do that. Josh is going to get the opportunity. He's going to be bringing in a veteran he's going to tie himself to for 2 seasons, or he's bringing in a rookie quarterback that he's going to tie the future of the franchise to and his future to as well. That is going to be his legacy, and that is what he is bringing in, and that is what he is going to do this season. So we're going to have to see. We are absolutely going to have to see, but we are knee-deep and entrenched in the McWeasel era. I was not happy when they brought in Gruden. I thought it was a horrible and an asinine fucking decision. You never, ever, ever in sports try to reach back in the past and try to recreate history. You don't do that. Ever. It always fucking fails. And I just don't think this guy... I just don't think this is the guy. I don't. But it is what it is. And I understand that this is the McWeasel era. And Josh McWeasel is around for the foreseeable future. I'll deal with it as a fan, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that this team is buying into his system, and the fact that he's a weasel, and a weaselly little looking dude with his fucking visor pushed down on his fucking ears like some fucking Walt Disney character. like some caricature, as long as he can bring success. That's all I want to see. Please improve upon your 2022 performance, because that was a fucking shit show. And this fan base deserves much, much better. Do not set this fucking team back, because I fear that that's what you were doing. But you're supposed to be some sort of mastermind. You sure the fuck didn't look like one this year. Let's see what you can do next year. We'll give you next year. After that, there can be no more argument made for this guy. You've got to see something next season out of this guy. Because when you look ahead at the wild card round of the National Football League, and when you take a look at the teams that are out there, and you look at the AFC, and you see the fucking Sparklers playing the fucking Jags, and you're like, why the fuck can the Raiders not make it in that game? You see the fucking Dolphins and the Bills, the Ravens and the Bengals. You're like, the Raiders could make it in any of these games. 3 teams, the Chargers, Jags, and Dolphins, you're like, they're in? You can't regress like that in the National Football League. This was a team that took a big step forward last year. You should have built upon that. But there is football going on this weekend. It just is what it is. The season is not over. We're not in the off season yet. Raider Nation, we're at that shitty time. This is couch time. We're not in the off season. We're sitting on the busted ass couch. This is couch time. Off season hasn't started yet. We're sitting on the couch. Right next to the fucking donkeys, the shitbirds, all these other shit ass teams and bottom feeders, Texans. We're on that fucking couch waiting for the off season. But you got Sparklers Jags. I'm picking Jags. You got Ravens Bengals. I gotta go Bengals. Bills Dolphins ain't even gonna be close. It's gonna be a slaughter. Bills destroy them. Niners. I think the Niners get shocked. I'm picking the bitch pigeons to take down the Niners. I think that's gonna be one of your shockers right there in the first round. I'm picking the Vikings over the Giants. Bucks, Cowboys. I'm picking the Cowboys. I don't think Tom Brady gets it done. I think they're fraudulent. They only got in because they're in the worst division in the league. And that's your first round. That's your wild card. Just looking at that field, and I'm just like, how can you not get in that field? How can you not get in that field? I just don't understand it. Sad. Sad you couldn't make that playoff field. You couldn't beat out the fucking Jags. The Dolphins. The Sparklers. The Sparklers have a chance to go because, man, they got a damn good chance to beat the Jags. You realize Herbert could have more fucking postseason wins already than Derek Carr if he goes and wins? That'd be some sad shit. That'd be some sad fucking shit. Really sad. Kicking off that Madden League this week, man. If you're a Madden gamer and you're on that PlayStation format, make sure you send me your info. We want to get as many people in. We want to build this league up. We've got about 12 solid that are returning from our previous leagues this year. So we've got a good core coming back, but we want to get more in there. We want to have some good competition. We've got a really good group of guys and a good group of owners in our Madden League. So if you are interested, hit us up. Hit us up. Please do. Please do. Please do. All right. It's that time. Hold on. Let me make sure here. If I got enough time. I think we do. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. Final segment. Let's get into it. Ooh, Billy James, who are you picking? Bills, KC, Philly, Minnesota. I don't know if Philly, Minnesota can happen. Maybe. That would depend on. Yeah, probably it could. I think I gotta look at the bracket again. And the seeds. It's that time of the show. We got one last segment. Let's get into it. You ready? Are you ready? All right. Let's do it. It's just a little thing that we like to call the WTF. I do not understand how somehow in the weird mix and the fucking fucked upness of the end of this season that how I have gotten labeled somehow as one of the guys beating the fucking drum for getting rid of Derek Carr. And in a couple of the fucking social media forums, I am getting my ass crawled up in a severe way with about, oh, I can't believe it's the defense's fault. I can't believe it's all Carr. And how can you say it's all Carr? And I'm like, fuck, when the fuck have I ever said that? I think most of you that watch the show a little more on a regular basis than these people that watch it, that just catch a show and then 2 months later they'll see it again and then just like, no. I have never said it's all Carr and it ain't the defense and he's the only problem. It's okay to have more than one problem. There's definitely more than one problem on this team. Defense, we all know, is a problem. But it's okay to think that maybe the quarterback could be upgraded as well. It's not a ludicrous thought. I have said for years I thought this team could get it done with Derek Carr. But it just becomes time when there may just be time for a divorce. That doesn't mean the defense doesn't need addressed and you don't fix other things. It's fucking insane. Just because you want to see maybe a change at quarterback, that means there's no other problems and everything else is fine. That is not what that means. That's not what that means at all. What the fuck? That is not what that means. Just get over it. I'm done talking about him for the most part. Because he's become a toxic topic. Every time you bring him up, it's so polar from one end to the other. Derek Carr as a topic has almost got as off limits to me as Antonio Brown. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. He's not going to be the fucking quarterback of the Raiders at all. I just don't. And the next news that I report on Derek Carr will probably be whatever team he's going to, and that'll be the end of it. The Derek Carr story is a sad story, man. He's been a great guy for the franchise. The franchise wasted his talents. They didn't put the right pieces around him. At times, Carr didn't perform the best. He didn't help the cause all the time either. It just didn't work out. That's it. Move on. End of story. Nobody hates the guy. I've been rooting for the guy for 9 fucking years. And I wanted him to succeed every week. There's never a week that went out there that ever wanted to see the guy not succeed and not do his best. Ever. But as soon as he leaves the Raiders, I could care less if he ever wins another game again. And that's just the way it works. Thank you all for joining me. Until next time, I'm out. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.
Yeah. You must be with them.